Good evening, everybody. Guess what? There's no need to freak out. March Madness has just about started. The playing games have started. You know what happened? This is already in blue right here because Mount St. Mary's has won. They beat whoever they played. That's right, New Orleans. You lost. So Mount St. Mary's is in. Well, the master scoring bracket is here. That's this file right here. If you have paid me for one of these, you've received it. I'm all caught up, and I've sent it out to everybody who's purchased one. If you'd like to purchase one, email me, ken@kenstock.com. $20, you'll get it up to 500 entrants. It will save your life. There will no need to be stressed out, and I will show you why right now. So, if you sent out an Excel file or had people use the Google Doc, Google Sheet to fill out a bracket here, I just filled one out. I'm Ken right here. I filled one out. I actually spent some time, like a minute, to fill it out. It took probably less than two or 3 minutes it took to fill this out, right? Well, here's what you do. You got to copy this area at the bottom. This is what you're going to use to bring into your master file that you have or that you want to get. The way to get there is to go right here, choose this Apex range right here. You can click that. That will automatically highlight the area. Or if you forget to do that or don't want to do that, you can just do it manually and highlight to the bottom. Whoops, not like that. So that's why it's better to click the Apex range, because it just does it for you automatically. But copy, and then you're going to go into your master bracket. And you're going to go to the all data sheet, and you're going to go to your first available yellow cell here, and you're going to paste 1, 2, 3 as values. That's paste values. Very important that you paste values and not a regular paste. Do the paste values, and you're good. And then the next entry, you're done with that bracket. You close this one out. Be done with that. Then say that you have, let's do something slightly different and have a different entry. Of course, that's not right. Let's see, Wilmington. Got to wait for those validations. Sometimes they take a second. Oh, why not, right? Then that doesn't show up in red in the Excel file, so you have to know that you screwed up there and you have to change this, right? Future. So let's change this entry a little bit. I think that's right. Nope, I have Villanova winning, so let's go with Butler. So copy that Apex range again, copy it, go to the master file, next one, 1, 2, 3, do the 1, 2, 3. If you screw up and do a regular paste, you get this weird error. Press yes, yes, and do undo up here. No, don't do that. Yeah, undo until you get back to normal, and then you want to do the paste 1, 2, 3. By the way, this was not Ken's entry. It should be like Ken 2, so that you separate those out if you have somebody with the exact same name. It won't screw up your scoring because I'll show you in the pivot table. I have this done by entrant number and not by entrant name, but just for your own sanity's sake, you should try to have different names for people if you can. So now let's pretend that some other games happened. Let's pretend, let's go down here. Let's start doing this. Attack. Assuming that actual results, happen. Here's your point structure over here. You assign how many points you want to have in round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, whatever. People do different things. If you're doing upsets, point scoring, or have special stuff, I'm still working on that, and I'll be in contact with you about the special brackets with special scoring. But if you're just doing straight up a certain amount of points per round, you go in there and do that. So we have some results, right? I know round 2 doesn't happen before round 1, but we're messing around. So now all you do is go to the standing sheet. And if you've done everything's done, right, and you're done for the, it's like Thursday or Friday, you got everyone's brackets in, you pasted everybody in. What you can do is you're going to have a lot of blank things here. If you want to get rid of them, you can just go to if you know you're completely done, you go to this one here. You press Control, Shift, and down arrow all at the same time. Control, Shift, and down arrow all at the same time. And then you could just press the delete button, or you could right-click and clear contents. And you get rid of all these other entries. You wouldn't have them anymore if you want to get rid of them at the end. but don't do that until you're completely done because the formula is a little complex how you paste it down. It's not just, so don't get rid of them until you know you're done entering in all your brackets. Now, in the standing sheet, so I have one standing sheet so far. I'm going to be doing more work on the master bracket that I run just for fun during the upcoming few weeks here as all the games play out, and I'll do different views of potential points remaining and possible, and running out scenarios. But what you do when you get here is you right click and you press refresh when you're inside the pivot table. And when you do that, everything you've done, all the picks that you've brought in, which are over here, all the picks you brought in, all the results that you've been keeping, because this is the master scoring bracket. So, this is the master scoring bracket. So anything you put in here is supposedly what happens, so that affects the point totals of the game. So you go back to here, you refresh this. What you're going to get is you're going to get by entry here, you're going to get the person and how many points they have, how many possible points they have remaining, or how many points they have remaining and their total possible, right? Which is these two, equals that. Now, I also have this thing up here, which is going to be helpful this year to make sure that you got all of your brackets in correctly and nobody changed any names on you or screwed anything up. If this thing is green, it says that you have 0 entry pick errors in your alt data sheet. That means everything's great. Let me show you if everything wasn't great. Let's say that for some reason somebody screwed with names on something and they said that, let's say that they said Virginia Tech was typed like this. It's actually like Virginia Polytechnic Institute. I think I remember seeing that because all the kids in my high school ended up going to Virginia Tech. Well, if you change the name on you, the name that we have as a standard name in this sheet that is responsible for keeping track of what team's winning or losing, they're in this bracket here, and there's a list right here of all the standardized names. The hardest thing about doing this scoring is making sure that everyone sends you a bracket back with the proper names and nobody messed around on you. Well, this is how you check that, because I have this column saying, hey, do I have any errors in this sheet? Meaning, do I have a name that doesn't match my standard team name list? And now we do, and it shows you there's an error there. And guess what happens when we go to the standing sheet? Oh my God, this is pink now. It says you have 1 entry pick errors in the all data sheet. So if you have pink up here, then that means you need to go back to your all data sheet. Here's what you do. Put filters on, data filter, filters on. You find out where your errors are by clicking this arrow and just clicking your errors. You're going to get your error, and then you're going to know that, now how do you figure out what this was? Okay, because the team may not match the master result. You don't use this as a guide. You have to figure out what this was. This was game 2 of entry 2 of Ken's pick sheet. So you'd have to go back and look at that person's bracket if you have it in your email, or talk to the person or whatever, or if you can't figure out what they meant. Maybe they just misspelled something and you can make it out. Then you need to make it the correct team. Now, if you didn't have Virginia Tech here, you know what this was, but you knew this is supposed to be Virginia Tech, you'd look at what is Virginia Tech supposed to be spelled like. Look at my team list here. Where's the Virginia? There it is. So you copy that and paste that as values right there, which is what I'm going to do. Virginia Tech, copying that, and I'm pasting values right here. And guess what happens? This error goes away, and you clear this filter, get rid of all your filters, and guess what? You're back to green again. So that's what to do to check team names so you won't have any scoring mistakes, because it can really mess you up. Someone puts a space after a team name or something. Like even this does it, blank space, that screws it up too. So you have to watch out for weird stuff. And it's just something to watch out for, and I added that in there as another check for you. So put in your map, you put in your stuff, you keep track of your results here, you look at your standings. So how do we make the standings cool? Well, what we do is everybody that's in here, and then a bunch of these blanks which you don't want to see and are slowing up the chart and everything. To get rid of all those, in this slicer here for name, hold down Control or just click this thing and get rid of the blank. If you get rid of the blank, now also the blanks are gone. Now you're going to get just people that are in the tournament. And then you can use these slicers, which are filters, to look at, how far do certain people have certain teams, Nobody's got Kansas anymore, I guess. Duke, who has Duke? Both of you have a possible point remaining with Duke. You can start to really mess around with cool stuff. And then you get this chart over here showing current points, potential remaining possible. This thing will blow out and have everybody. There's ways that you can restructure this. So say, by round, for example, how many points do people have left? If you move around to like down here or something, this chart starts to blow up and you see like by round who has points left and why. And you can do all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'll get into more of that later in the tournament, but this just gets you started. And if you have any questions, let me know. And if you need me to do anything else with your bracket, let me know. And if you need one of these brackets, definitely let me know, because if you are doing this by hand or some other way, I've never had somebody come up with another solution that was better than this. Nobody's ever been like, I moved on to a different provider of a March Madness scoring bracket. Nobody's ever said that to me. maybe it's not polite, but I don't think it happens. This thing's so easy once you get it in, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun with it. So good luck. I bet you did Kansas. This game was going on. This Kansas State. This game. Kansas State, Wake Forest was going on. Kansas State was winning. I think they're going to win. I almost want to call it without even looking. So, Ken Stock's out, and happy March Madnessing.